Notice is hereby given of the regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Town of Westfield in the County of Union, New Jersey at 6 p.m. on the evening of Tuesday, April 29th, 2025, in Cafeteria B of Westfield High School, 550 Dorian Road, Westfield, New Jersey. The Board will move immediately into private session to discuss matters rendered confidential by state and federal law, including harassment, intimidation, and bullying. The public portion of the meeting will resume at 7 p.m. The purpose of this meeting is to transact the regular business of the Board and to transact any other business to come properly before the Board. This is to advise the general public and to instruct that it be recorded in the minutes that in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, entitled the Open Public Meetings Act, the Westfield School Board on Thursday, April 24th, 2025, caused to be posted at the Office of the Board of Education located at 302 Elm Street, Westfield, New Jersey, and delivered to the Westfield Leader, the Star Ledger, the Westfield Library, Town Clerk of Westfield, Tap Into Westfield, and Patch.com, a meeting notice setting forth the time, date, and location of this meeting. Patty, may I have a roll, please?
Rob Bonaccio.
Here.
Kent Diamond. Brendan Galligan.
Here.
Charles Gelinas. Layla Morelli. Here. Sonal Patel.
Here.
Kristen Sonic Schmeltz.
Here.
Julie Steinberg.
Here.
Mary Wickens.
All right, we'll now move to a flag salute. Kristen, would you mind? I make a motion for the Board to approve the following resolution. Resolve that the Board of Education move into private session for the purpose of discussing matters rendered confidential by state and federal law, including harassment, intimidation, and bullying incidents, and be it further resolved that any discussion held by the Board which need not remain confidential and the results of the discussion will be made public as soon as practicable. Do I have a second, please?
Second.
Sonal, second. Could we do this by voice vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? We are in executive session. All right. Apologies for the significant delay. Sometimes board business is done swiftly, sometimes less so. So thank you all for the extra time. Thank you all for staying here. Thank you all for coming. And I want to start on a very positive note. On behalf of the board, it is my honor to welcome so many students for recognition of their musical and athletic skills and talents tonight. This is one of the best things we do here on the board. Thank you very much to the families and staff members who support our students and who are here tonight as well, and for spending the time to be here. We had planned to recognize the exceptional talent and members of the chorus. My apologies, I know they had rehearsal afterward, and this, the delay we had kind of put that in a different spot. Our choruses earned prestigious honors in regional, state, and national choral competitions. Unfortunately, most had to leave for a prior commitment, but some members of the chorus did stay. So what we're going to do to sort of fix that and make it up is we're going to recognize the chorus at another meeting as a full group, but I do want to make sure that the 4 members who were able to stay do get recognized today as well. So I will call each of you up in alphabetical order. Please accept a certificate of recognition from Dr. Gonzalez and proceed to the stage for a photograph. I guess you get 2 photographs. That'll work out nicely for you guys. First, Emily Bailey, Region 2 Treble Chorus. Nikita Bott, Region 2 Treble Chorus. Ella Hartz, Region 2 Mixed Chorus. And Luella Mockbee doing double duty, 2025 All-State Treble Chorus and Region 2 Treble Chorus. Okay, so we'll take a picture with you folks. Thank you for coming and staying. All right, so as I said, thank you for staying. We owe you guys one. So next, I want to welcome members of the Westfield High School Band and Orchestra, whose hard work and dedication to their music have truly paid off. Through hours, days, weeks, and even months of practice, they have earned recognition for their excellence in state and regional performances. As the chorus did before you, please come up when your name is called alphabetically to accept a certificate and proceed onto the stage. We'll start with Anya Osiello, Region 2 Band and Orchestra. Christian Bonapane, Region 2 Band. Lucas Chalfont, Region 2 Band. Ethan Coe, Region 2 Orchestra. Brianna Crispino, Region 2 Band. Nathan DeBole, All-State Symphonic Band and Region 2 Band and Orchestra. And Liliana Lincoln, Region 2 Band. So as we speak, band directors Chris Vitale and Gabriel Batiz are holding an interest meeting for the next generation of Marching Blue Devils. So they were unable to attend, as was orchestra director Craig Stanton, who had a prior commitment. So I invite our intermediate band and orchestra directors up to read remarks for Mr. Vitale, Mr. Batiz, and Mr. Stanton. Thank you for stepping in.
We're honored to recognize a group of exceptional students from our band program who are in placement in the region and all-state bands through a rigorous audition process. These students dedicated countless hours outside of school to practice and refine their skills, which demonstrate a level of commitment and discipline that truly sets them apart. Their achievement not only reflects their individual talent and perseverance, but also sets a powerful example for the peers of what is possible with time and dedication. We are incredibly proud of these students and grateful for their continued support that allows programs like ours to thrive.
This is for Ethan Coe, who I know had to go to the band interest meeting. But anyway, from Mr. Stanton, on behalf of the WHS orchestras, we extend our warmest congratulations to Ethan on his remarkable achievement of being accepted into the prestigious CJMEA Region 2 High School Orchestra. This accomplishment is a testament to his practice, a dedication, talent, and countless hours of practice. We are incredibly proud to have such a gifted musician representing Westfield High School, and we eagerly anticipate celebrating his continued success this evening.
Next, the foundation of musical talent often begins at a young age, with skills and passion blossoming as students progress through their intermediate school years. It is during this time that our students take their musical abilities to new heights, earning prestigious honors and representing our schools with pride. To that effect, we are pleased to welcome members of our intermediate bands and orchestras from both Edison and Roosevelt schools. Please come forward as I call your name in alphabetical order. Logan Chen, Intermediate Region 2 Band. James Fu, Intermediate Region 2 Orchestra. Gabriel Garfield, Intermediate Region 2 Wind Ensemble. Filipos Convocus, Intermediate Region 2 Symphonic Band. Zain Nasser, Intermediate Region 2 Orchestra. Arav Sheth, Intermediate Region 2 Band. Annabelle Tao, Intermediate Region 2 Wind Ensemble. Emma Wang, Intermediate All-State Orchestra and Intermediate Region 2 Orchestra. Emmeline Young, Intermediate Region 2 Orchestra. These students have shown remarkable dedication to their craft, and we're excited to see their continued growth and success in the years to come. They could not do that without the skilled guidance of their instructors, all three of whom I invite up to the podium now. James Doyle, the Roosevelt Band Director. Amanda Gant, Edison Orchestra Director. And John Scazzaro, Edison Band Director.
Thank you so much. Just to echo a lot of what we already heard from the previous speakers, it takes an incredible amount of time to achieve what these students have achieved. And I think it's all the more impressive that you've done so at such a young age. By the time you get to high school, you have a better idea of the things that you love and the things that interest you, and it might be a little easier to spend a lot more time practicing. But I know that many of the students up here not only work really hard on the instruments they were accepted for, many of you are multi-instrumentalists, as well as doing a myriad of other activities that take up a lot of your time. So I think it's even more impressive, and you should all be extremely proud of your accomplishments.
obviously proud of all of you, but to speak to my 4, to say that I'm proud of you is definitely an understatement. You all worked incredibly hard to achieve this goal, several of you while in the midst of preparing for Edison's production of Shrek. So there was a late night show, and then the next morning they had to be at a 5-hour rehearsal/concert, and I saw them at that concert, and it was truly, truly amazing to see what you guys could do in that short amount of time. You have all grown in your musical endeavors and maturity because of this experience, and it shows, and it has been amazing to watch you all develop into such talented, well-rounded young adults, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds for you. Congrats.
Just like they said, we're super proud of you, and maybe the audience doesn't know that all of this preparation goes on outside of school, so it's a lot of independent practice that they do, so it's a testament to their hard work and their dedication. Also, you probably don't know, again, we talk about how competitive something like this is. I would say probably only about 10 to 20% of the students that audition for this actually make it. So it is really, truly a high achievement that you made, and we are super proud of all the work that you've done, as are the parents, and I'm sure the Board of Ed and the whole community. Thank you.
Tell the girl I said hello.
I certainly will. I'm going to read off the names of this one. Okay. Lastly, last meeting we didn't have the opportunity to recognize the Westfield High School boys swim team. They weren't able to join us at our last meeting. I don't know if they were able to stay for this one, but I do want to make sure that we recognize them, get their names on the record, and we also have a statement from their coach to read as well. So I want to put that down on the record at this meeting now. Our Westfield High School boys swim team is a talented group of athletes. They finished with an undefeated season, secured their 4th consecutive county and sectional titles, and earned the Group A state championship for the 3rd year in a row. Their hard work and teamwork also led to setting new school records in 3 relay events at the Meet of Champions. I do have remarks from Coach Knight, but for now I will read off the names of the members of that team. First is Dima Batkevsky, Elias Chang, Henry Charles, Alexander Cherenkov, Artem Dubrovsky, Michael Fisher, Alexander Fu, Gavin Gimblett, Henry Gould, Spencer Grosh, Luke Jenner, James Kavanaugh, Joseph Kiley, Dylan Lagramas, Benjamin Lane, Max Laskow, Flynn Martin, Maxwell Matera, Liam Mulkeen, Daniel Pierce, Clark Cedar, Cole Sharkey, Logan Swenson, Drin Silaj, Alejandro Villar, Andrew Vorobiev, Owen Weibel, Logan Welsh, Hudson Wilcombs, Wes Young, and Benjamin Zhao. So congratulations to each of these athletes and their coach, Jeff Knight. Coach Knight unfortunately did have another commitment for this evening as well, but asked us to read this message to the team. This season culminated with the boys swim team completing the three-peat as state champions and the #1 team in the state. For those unfamiliar with the term, a three-peat in swimming and other sports refers to winning 3 consecutive championships or tournaments. Along the way, they captured another county title and the 4th straight sectional title. During the course of this season, there were 6 school records broken. Owen Wabel finished first team All-State in the 50 free and 2 relays. The 200 and 400 free relays comprised of Owen Wabel, Danny Pierce, Hudson Wilcombs, Logan Swenson, and Michael Fisher won at the Meet of Champions and finished first team All-State. This very well can be considered the greatest team in Westfield history. Their success is due to their hard work and dedication. They embody the best of Westfield both in and out of the pool. So I think a round of applause for those who are here for them is appropriate. And that will conclude this evening's recognition of our students and the adults who support them. We look forward to more celebrations at upcoming board meetings. I do know we have other announcements. Mary, do you have one? Kent?
Yes, thank you. Congratulations to the 10 students who were recognized by the Westfield Public Schools Green Team as winners of the 2025 Earth Day Poster Contest. They are, drumroll please, Lincoln School, Lila Conaboy, Kindergarten. Franklin School, Hazel Bonaparte, Grade 3. Jefferson School, Shay Baker, Grade 3. McKinley School, Peyton Powers, Grade 5. Tamakra School, Lara Chandra Sakaran, Grade 5. Washington School, Maya Shrew, Grade 3. Wilson School, Carter Ostrowski, Grade 1. Edison Intermediate School, Emma Dushak, Grade 6. Roosevelt Intermediate School, Izzy Note, Grade 6. Westfield High School, Sarah Richards, Grade 11. Thank you to all who submitted a work of art and to K-12 Science Supervisor Tom Patterson, who leads the District Green Team and who, with many other staff members, reviewed the creative poster submissions. Thank you.
Brendan, do you have one? Kristen?
I do. There are many state and national observances of diverse religious, cultural, and historical traditions. The Westfield Public School District continues to raise awareness of the rich tapestry within its own community. This month, the district marked Jewish Heritage Month, observed in New Jersey in April and across the country in May, American Heritage Month, Autism Acceptance Month, along with Passover and Easter. April 24th was Holocaust Remembrance Day, a time to reflect on the atrocities of the Holocaust and to renew our commitment to combating hate in all forms.
Julie, I think you have one.
21 Westfield High School students signed letters of intent this spring to compete at the college level. This brings to 34 the total number of class of 2025 student athletes who will play competitive sports in college. Visit the news section of the district and high school website for the full story, including a list of these amazing athletes.
Layla, I don't know if you have one.
I thought I did, but it's missing now.
All right.
So I guess I don't.
So?
The next regular public meeting of the Board of Education will be on Tuesday, May 6th in Cafeteria B at Westfield High School, beginning at 7 p.m. The meeting, which will be a reorganization meeting, will be live-streamed via the district YouTube channel, which viewers can access on the board tab on the district website. The complete agenda will be available on Friday, May 2nd, also on the board tab.
Okay, with the announcements done, we'll move to a report by district administration. Dr. Gonzalez.
Thank you. Just as a note, because of unfinished business at the executive level, we do want to just acknowledge that the governance portion of tonight's agenda will be held until after a second executive session. So I just wanted to make sure that that was known to the public. As for my report this evening, I really just want to take the opportunity just to reflect on something that took place a couple weeks ago, that thing called a referendum and budget vote. It really, it felt surreal for a while, but I think as superintendent of this amazing district, you know, I can't tell you how proud I am and excited that the Westfield Public Schools referendum passed. It truly marks a transformative opportunity for our district and a lasting investment in the future of our students and our schools. This wasn't just a proposal developed behind closed doors. As with our strategic plan, it was shaped directly by our community through ideas, feedback, and conversations. Your voices as a community built this plan, and now your votes have made it a reality. To everyone who participated in the vote, whether you voted yes or no, I just want to thank everyone. Your active engagement made this a historic moment and continues to reflect just how deeply our community cares about education and the future of our schools. Because of that support, we are now able to move forward with learning environments tying to our neighborhood schools, our youngest learners' opportunity to start their educational journey as early as possible. More room for small group instruction, student support services, and inclusive programming throughout the district. Upgrading heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems to create healthier, safer, and more energy-efficient schools. While today is a day to celebrate, we know the real work begins now. Our focus shifts from planning to action, and we're fully committed to continuing the same level of communication, transparency, and partnership that got us here. As we move toward the final stages of developing the next school budget associated with implementing this endeavor, particularly the staffing plan required to launch full-day kindergarten, we will continue to keep our community informed at every step. At the same time, we remain focused on our broader day-to-day responsibilities. We take seriously our fiduciary responsibility to manage our regular operating budget with great care and continue to deliver the high-quality education services and programs our students deserve, while also attending to the ongoing operational needs of our school district, as well as the ongoing maintenance of our buildings and grounds. So importantly, all of this work, from the projects funded by the referendum to the careful stewardship of our daily operations, everything we do is fully aligned to our strategic plan, a plan that was informed by the community and objectives that are setting in place the motion of that plan. Our mission remains clear: to create supportive, safe, innovative, and inclusive learning environments where every student can thrive. I want to thank everyone for believing in our schools and supporting our schools.
Any questions? All right. This has got to be the shortest report from administration we've had for a while. No slides, nothing? Wow, that's impressive. I actually don't know what to do now. This is great. I guess I would like to echo that. I think that might as well be as good a time as any. I'd like to echo that on behalf of the board as well. A vote like this, in the turnout that we had and at the percentage of success that it had, speaks volumes about our public, about their interest and their ranking of the importance of educating our students. And it says a lot to us about the faith that you're putting in the district, which is certainly how I read the vote. There was a lot of work put into communication, but now the real work starts. And I can tell you, I think we had a finance committee meeting, about a week after, and we already brought our architects in and said, well, when can you give us a timeline and when can we start? And I'm fairly certain that our architects were not expecting that at the time, but I'm glad we did, because the least we can do as a thank you for supporting these plans is to get down to them right away. And I want to be sure to thank our administration, Dr. Gonzalez and Patty and Mary Ann for putting together such a great communication on this. This was an election. We were all concerned at having this election over spring break. It's probably our best turnout on an April election, even though there were multiple uncertainties regarding what was happening and when and who's going to be here and who wasn't. And to have that level of communication and that level of education and that level of the public feeling that informed just speaks volumes to, transparency, yes, but just to the time that was put in. So thank you all for giving of your time. I hope you got to see your families again. I hope they recognized who you were after that time. But really, thank you all so much for doing that work. And next, we'll move to James for our high school student report.
Good evening. With the fourth marking period underway, WJS students are making the most of the last few months of the school year. The day before spring break, students beat the staff in the annual student versus staff basketball game Students packed toiletry kits for St. Joseph's and wrote cards for senior citizens and service members, while students in the gym during the game wrote cards to teachers for the upcoming Teacher Appreciation Week. Additionally, money was raised for the Wounded Warrior Project in honor of former WHS principal Dr. Nelson. Looking ahead, SGA candidates are currently in the process of preparing for this year's election to determine next year's executive board. Candidates will give speeches and present a flyer to the school, which will be posted on our Instagram to get their message out to students. Freshmen, sophomores, and juniors will get to cast their votes the week before Memorial Day. Additionally, this Friday, the class of 1953 will be coming back for their high school reunion. Yes, this is over 70 years ago. The visit by the class of 53 will take place on May 2nd at 3:30 p.m. with help from student volunteers. This time of year is also full of many activities for our seniors. This Thursday, seniors will celebrate Decision Day on May 1st. For this Spirit Day, seniors will wear clothes representing their plans for the fall. Faculty members will wear clothes representing their alma maters, and all other grades will wear Westfield clothing. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Moving to committee reports. Report by Curriculum Instructions and Programs. Kristen.
The Curriculum and Instructional Programs Committee, SIP, met last night. The meeting began with a review of the new curriculum documents presented by Liz D'Alessandro, supervisor of the K-12 Mathematics and Computer Science. Mrs. D'Alessandro introduced a comprehensive slate of curriculum documents for several high school mathematics courses. Additionally, the committee reviewed a new 6th grade course titled Money Mindset, Building Healthy Financial Habits, designed to promote foundational financial literacy in alignment with the NJSLS 9.1 standards. All curriculum documents were developed collaboratively by Mrs. D'Alessandro and a team of teachers, including course-specific instructors and special education teachers. This inclusive development process ensures that the curricula are both content-rich and supportive of diverse learners' needs. The committee also reviewed several high school English curricula, which will be on the upcoming May agenda for board approval. Following the curriculum review, the committee received an update from Dr. Bolton on student performance and growth across the district based on the universal screening measures iReady and DIBELS 8. Dr. Bolton provided an overview of how these assessments function as diagnostic tools and reported on the gains made by students at each grade level and in each school. The presentation highlighted positive trends in student growth and explained how the data from these screeners are used to identify areas of need at both the grade level and the individual student level, supporting the district's system of academic interventions. Finally, the committee reviewed and approved applications for several upcoming overnight field trips, which are on this evening's agenda for approval. The final SIP committee meeting will be on Monday, June 2nd. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. Now, Finance and Facilities. Brendan?
Yep. The Finance and Facilities Committee met on Friday morning. We did talk about several topics. Mostly had to do with our referendum, but I'll start with the other topics first. We did look at our budget for this year. Everything is still within lines, but within the guidelines we expected, but health insurance is coming back higher than anticipated, still within our range, but higher than we were hoping. Patty talked to us about a meeting that she had with Jim Gilday at the town and Chief Bataloro to go over our SRO agreement for the 25-26 school year. The police department just settled a new contract, and the costs for SROs are expected to increase. We don't yet have a cost for them, but historically we have split those costs 50-50, hoping they don't increase our costs, but we'll see. They did also talk about changing the rotation of officers. Police officers in Westfield work on a 4-day schedule, and schools are obviously open 5 days, so there may be some changes at the middle school level as to how we staff the SRO position, which will put more faces in front of the students, give us a larger pool to choose from, and will allow them to be available for after-school activities without additional cost to the district. More on that when we have details. The business office has gone through Genesis training for all the purchase orders and requisitions. This is the new, expanding out on what we manage the student population with. It is now going to manage our finance operations as well, integrating all of that into one very user-friendly platform. And it's supposed to go live for this July 1st, correct? Yep. So getting everybody up to speed and no real complaints. Then on to Roosevelt and the IT classrooms, or the IT closets. The Fab Lab at Roosevelt is essentially done. They're waiting on some light fixtures to be installed, and that'll happen over the next couple weeks. And then the IT closets, or the IDF rooms, as it's listed, we put air conditioning units in each of those to protect the investment and equipment we've made. All of that is pretty much done. They're waiting on some final electrical connections, but everything will be live by the end of the month, which is tomorrow. And then really the bulk of our meeting was spent talking about the referendum, planning the next steps. We spent so much time talking about what things might look like that we didn't really talk about how it's all going to work. And Friday we spent a lot of time talking about how it's going to work. Many of the additions, the elementary schools are going to require relocating some playground equipment. That should probably happen first before anything else, so that we're not impacting the students. And then just sequencing and how the bids are going to be broken up. And no real decisions have been made, but the conversation has been started, and there's a lot of things to decide. And I won't say that we have to have it done by the May 16th facilities meeting, but I'll have more to report on at the May 20th board meeting. And that is it for right now.
Thank you, Brendan. Next, report by Policies, Personnel, and Governance. Mary?
The Policy, Personnel, and Governance Committee met on April 23rd. We started with a review of the upcoming Comprehensive Equity Plan for 2025 to 2028. As part of the state's requirements, we put together an affirmative action team led by affirmative action officer, which is on the agenda for board approval tonight. A final version of the plan along with board resolution to submit it is expected on or before June 17th to meet the June 23rd deadline. We also looked at the superintendent's job description. Is that me? Oh, thanks. He's helping me. We reviewed the legal requirements, the policy, and the current, oops, I'm reading the wrong paragraph. Okay. We also looked at the superintendent job description. After comparing neighboring and similar districts, we found that most use the NJSBA model description along with Strauss-Esme's policy 1230, which outlines the superintendent's duties. The committee recommends sticking with policy 1230 and officially adopting the NJSBA job description. If the board and superintendent ever want to add or revise responsibilities, that can be addressed through mutual agreement. Next, we talked about the superintendent's annual evaluation process. We reviewed the legal requirements, the policy, and the current contract. As in past years, the superintendent will complete a self-evaluation, and then a draft will be shared with the board, in which board members will be able to submit feedback using a Google form. The final evaluation will be shared before the June 17th meeting, when we'll hold executive session. We also discussed policy 1100 on district organization. To make things clearer and less repetitive, we're recommending that we fold in that chart as an administrative regulation under this policy and abolish 1110. Regulation 5600 was also on the agenda, the Student Code of Conduct. Some edits were suggested, mostly to better address conduct tied to extracurriculars at the secondary level. The superintendent will bring the final version to our next meeting with the goal of having a first reading on May 20th and then the second on June 17th.
Next, we continued our discussion around the inclement weather give-back days for 2025-26. The committee recommends spacing those days out around spring break and Memorial Day. For the 26-27 calendar, the administration is continuing to review start and end dates, particularly in light of the upcoming construction work, which will need to take place during the summer. And finally, a few reminders. We recommend adding the board handbook to the reorg meeting agenda, and we'd like to remind all board members to wrap up the board self-evaluation by the end of April, which is tomorrow. I'm looking at you. We'll plan to review the results together at our August retreat, and our next meeting is scheduled for May 7th.
Apparently have a busy day tomorrow. All right, we'll now move to recognize the public on agenda action items only. During this portion of the meeting, district residents and staff are invited to address the Board of Education on agenda action items only. These are items that are marked in color on the board agenda. There will be an opportunity to address the board on general matters later in the meeting. The board requests that individuals state their name and address for the record, the specific action items they are commenting on, and asks that all remarks be directed to the board president or designee, not to individual members or staff. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Specifically, comments regarding personnel matters are discouraged and cannot be responded to by the board. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded by the laws of New Jersey. The board bears no responsibility, nor will it be liable, for any comments made by members of the public. If a matter concerning a district staff member is of interest or concern to a resident, the matter should be referred to the responsible building principal, superintendent of schools, or the Board of Education, either by telephone, letter, or email. Although the board may not respond to items raised during the public forum, all public comments will be considered. Please note that if any member of the public becomes disruptive during the meeting, the board president may terminate the participant's statement. Continued disruptions may result in removal from the meeting or adjournment of the meeting. Each speaker's statement will be limited to 3 minutes in duration. Seeing no one, I will close public comment. We'll move to some board action items. First, I'd like to make a motion to approve the March 25th, 2025 board meeting minutes and executive session minutes. Do I have a second? Mary. I'll do this by voice vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? That carries. Okay, as Dr. Gonzalez mentioned, we would normally hit the governance section of the agenda, but we are going to postpone that until after a second executive session. So we will move now to personnel. I think that's Layla.
I don't think so. It's still on the agenda, so it's not, yeah.
Good question, though.
Okay. I'd like to move items A through X under the personnel section of tonight's agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Sonal. Dr. Gonzalez, do you have any comments?
There are no retirements, but afterwards I would like to make a comment.
Okay, can we have a vote, Patty?
Rob Bonaccio,
Yes.
Kent Diamond,
Yes.
Brendan Galligan, Charles Gelinas, Layla Morelli,
Yes.
Sonal Patel,
Yes.
Kristen Sonic-Schmeltz,
Yes.
Julie Steinberg,
Yes.
Mary Wickens.
Yes.
Rob, if I may. I do want to take the opportunity this evening on the personnel agenda. The Board of Education just voted on and approved the appointment of Catherine Ernst, our new communications coordinator, school community relations coordinator. Catherine is joining us this evening, so I'd just like to officially welcome her and introduce her to the board and the community. Currently, Catherine is a communications media coordinator for a leading technologist in the country, supporting national broadcast appearances, assisting at global technology conference events, and producing multi-platform content across social media and the company website. She's also held roles at local ABC affiliates as a news anchor and producer. Throughout her media career, Catherine has worked closely with PIOs, public information officers, booked interviews with community stakeholders, and produced anchored live news broadcasts and created lifestyle content spotlighting local stories. So as you could imagine, much of that has a direct application into the ways that we like to engage our community, develop those partners, but certainly showcase our excellent students and schools. So I do want to thank Catherine for joining us this evening and welcome her to the team.
Welcome. Next, we'll move to Finance and Facilities. Kent?
All right, thank you. Let's see, I'd like to move items A through P under the finance section of tonight's agenda, and I have some donations this time, which is great. We'd like to express our gratitude to the Franklin School PTO for a donation of $22,500 for a concrete slab for the outdoor classroom. Next, the Westfield Baseball League, a donation of $20,000 for the removal and replacement of 4 backstops at Jefferson Field. Thank you to them. The Jefferson PTO donated $179 for a document camera for Miss Kelly's second grade classroom. Much needed. And Temple Emmanuel of Westfield donated $2,500 for the Hate Ends Now, the cattle car exhibition to be presented at Westfield High School in May. So with these donations, our school year-to-date total is now $149,328.52 in donations. Thank you to everyone. Can I have a second, please? Thank you, Layla.
Rob Bonaccio,
Yes.
Ken Diamonds,
Yes.
Brendan Galligan,
Yes.
Charles Gelinas, Layla Morelli, Sonal Patel,
Yes.
Kristen Sonic-Schmeltz,
Yes.
Julie Steinberg,
Yes.
Mary Wickens.
Yes.
All right, next, Curriculum, Instruction, and Programs. Kristen?
I'd like to ask the board to move items A through C under the SIP portion of tonight's agenda. The first, A, is asking the board to approve field trips. B is asking the board to approve several interns, 2 for this year and then 4 for next year. And then also C asks us to approve the new math curricula that we mentioned in the report. Can I get a second?
Yes.
Okay, Sonal. Ready to vote? Ready?
Rob Bonaccio,
Yes.
Ken Diamonds,
Yes.
Brendan Galligan,
Yes.
Charles Gelinas, Layla Morelli, Sonal Patel,
Yes.
Kristen Sonic-Schmeltz.
Yes.
Schultz, Julie Steinberg,
Yes.
Mary Wickens.
Yes.
All right, I will call the board's attention to the notes for the record. We do have one item of unfinished business on the agenda today. That is a resolution in support of Dr. Derek Nelson. It's been brought in prior meetings. It was referred to committees in the past and was discussed as well in our Finance Committee meeting this week. But to describe that in greater depth, I will turn the floor to Brendan Galligan.
Thank you. On April 8th, we marked the 6th anniversary of Dr. Derek Nelson's passing. And as I have every year since, I'm asking the board to approve a resolution allowing me to continue to pursue recognition from the Department of Defense for Derek Nelson. Back in 1926, I believe, the Army created what they know as, or what they call the Soldier's Medal. And that's to recognize the heroism of a member of the U.S. Army who dies in a civilian capacity, saving another life. And the whole text is attached to the agenda. I have updated it and just emailed it out with some additional names attached to it. But basically, I'm making the case that Dr. Nelson has satisfied those claims, or satisfied the requirements for the award, and asking the board for permission to act on behalf of the board in submitting this awards package again. Every time there's a change in office, there's new appointees, and I'm taking the approach of saturation, and hopefully somebody will appreciate the effort we're putting in, and we'll recognize Dr. Nelson with the Soldier's Medal. Any questions from board members?
All
I will be updating the minutes just with the additional names that
Yeah.
Brendan did add.
Yeah.
That it's getting sent to.
I do want to say thank you for your commitment to it.
He was a great man, and it's a very small act on my part to recognize what he did.
Agreed. Thank you.
Care to make a motion?
I ask the board to approve the resolution that I've put forth, allowing me to continue to pursue this award for Dr. Nelson. Thank you, Kent.
Rob Bonaccio,
Yes.
Ken Diamonds,
Yes.
Brendan Galligan.
Yes.
Charles Jelinas, Leila Morelli, Sonal Patel,
Yes.
Kristen Sonic Schmeltz,
Yes.
Julie Steinberg,
Yes.
Mary Wickens.
Yes.
Thank you.
Carries. Congrats, and thank you for continuing to push this. There's no new business submitted for the agenda, but we are next up on liaison reports. Anyone? Okay. And then lastly, we will recognize the public for comments. This portion of public comment, members of the public are invited to address the Board of Education, on any topic. Same rules and process that I described earlier do apply. So I'll open for public comment now. Seeing none. I'd like to make a following motion for the board. The board adopt the following resolution, that the Board of Education move back into private session for the purpose of discussing matters rendered confidential by state and federal law, including harassment, intimidation, and bullying incidents. And be it further resolved that any discussion held by the board which need not remain confidential, and the results of the discussion will be made public as soon as practicable. At the close of executive session, the board will return to public session. Do I have a second?
And we'll be taking action.
Oh, I'm sorry, and we'll be taking action. Thank you. Do I have a second? Ken, all in favor, just go by hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? We are back in executive session. All right, the board's returning from executive session, 8:48. We will move to address the one action item that was delayed, which is the governance section of the agenda. I want to turn it over to Patty. We have an addition to that section.
So governance has been amended. Item A, we added number 11, which is 285-286 WHS 01092025. And then there is an item B, and item B reads, rescind the board's May 21st, 2024 resolution affirming the superintendent's decision in HIB 253833 WHS 10252023 with regard to offender number 2 only.
Okay, so then,
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to move items A and B under the governance section of tonight's agenda. Can I have a second? Thank you, Kristen.
Okay. Rob Bonaccio,
yes.
Kent Diamond,
Yes.
Brendan Galligan,
Yes.
Charles Jelinas, Leila Morelli, Sonal Patel,
Yes.
Kristen Sonic Schmeltz,
Yes.
Julie Steinberg,
No to A, but yes to B.
Mary Wickens.
Yes.
All right, with that having carried, make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Kent, all in favor? All right. Any opposed? Any abstentions? We are adjourned.